I say this with all sincerity. My wife and I love this area, and it's like a city in the woods. Bloomington.
Yeah.
And you know, some people kind of look at me when I say that, but I go, I love the woods. I love the surrounding area and how beautiful it is.
Right.
Ain't it great? Season 8. We're back with the No Dishes podcast. Once again, brought to you by our friends at Visit Bloomington. Check them out at visitbloomington.com. It's a great resource, even if you're just a local looking for something to do. Also, all of our other advertisers on this episode, they help make this whole thing possible. So please show them some love. Anyways, play that theme song.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. No dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine for lights and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
Coming up May 24th, every Saturday through the end of July at Marci Jane Lewis Park in Ellettsville is the Ellettsville Summer Concert Series put on by B97. We are here with General Manager Tony Calumet and someone that needs no introduction, a local celebrity, Pam Thrash.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
On the short list of two-time guests now.
That's right.
Yes,
oh
yeah.
I got to go for a third
Time
at some
flies.
point.
I know. No one's done more than 2, so you're
Okay.
up there. You're tied with Mark Hyduke, Jeff Meese, and there's 1 or 2 others I'm forgetting. Wally.
You got to let me beat Jeff Meese. You got to.
All right, next time I'm going to be like Jeffrey. I'll be like, hey, Pam's got to be on before you. But yeah, I've got this, had a little bug yesterday, so I got this raspy voice, but I kind of like it. You know what I mean?
Sexy.
I'm like, ooh,
Sexy,
thank
Jordan.
you.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
It's a
say
new
it.
character.
I didn't want to say it. I thought it was sexy. Well, guys, let's talk about it. So this is going to be really cool. It's going to be every Saturday, beginning second to last Saturday in May, all the way through the end of July. No Dishes is a proud sponsor of it. Chocolate Mousse is a proud sponsor of it. What spurred this on? What made you decide, hey, we want to do this awesome thing?
I guess it's all of my fault,
It is.
so
It's
you can
Tony's
blame
fault.
me.
Yeah.
Over the last 15, probably 17 years across the country, I used to do these concerts for different radio stations. And so when I got here to Bloomington, I saw that there was so much great entertainment in Bloomington alone. And with the Parks and Rec, which has done a fantastic job, that type of thing. So I figured, hey, so we stopped over to Ellettsville, to the town, and Mike and Farmer and also Denise decided to say, would you do something for Ellettsville? We really think there's something that could really happen here. And I said, I would love to. So this thing started to spur up. It was going to be on a Wednesday night, as you well know.
Yeah.
And because that's when you had the food trucks over there and stuff. And we said, no, we'd like to get something on Saturday night. And some of them said, well, you're only going to do 2 nights a month? And I said, no, I want something that people can count on every week for 10 solid weeks. And the thing about it, it's absolutely free.
Yeah, there's so many similarities to Food Truck Friday because we're one of the few people that do a weekly food truck event. But that's why it's so successful because you know what's going on. Other than weather, like it's happening every week, and it's free. It's free, and
it's for the family.
Yes,
and one of the great things about it is because all the sponsors, which are about 32 sponsors altogether. In the intermission, we have what we call it's dumb stuff. I know it's crazy, but what happens is we ask for stupid things that people might have in their purse or whatever, and we've got $10 up to $50 in gift certificates. And I guarantee you, in one of my concerts, and I can mention this, it was in Alpena, Michigan, there was a woman that was in the audience. We were giving away a $50 gift card. She could use it for gas, cash, whatever she wanted, and I asked for a Viagra pill. And it just so happened that this 72-year-old woman runs to the front of the stage,
oh my God,
and she still has it packed. It's that blue pill, okay? See, we know.
Okay. I was like, how did you know it was a Viagra pill?
I know you would know nothing about that.
Tony saw it a mile away. Yeah. I know that, Phil.
So anyway, I had TV cameras there, newspaper, everything else, and our own websites, people that were there, and it was the talk of the town.
I love
so
it.
the thing is people start carrying purses, but all of a sudden, next thing you know, by the end of the concerts, they are literally carrying bags of stuff to try to outguess us. And that's the fun of Intermission. And one of the nice things that we're going to have, and is that I just found this out, that IU Athletics is going to be giving away memorabilia. They're part of the sponsorship this year. And what's going to happen, they're going to give away signed football helmets, shirts, signed shirts, jerseys, everything else. So you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I mean, give us the hard sell, Tony, please.
Yeah.
Please, come on. You're being too
Don't
timid.
wanna miss it.
Bring it on. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Tell me you're excited about
Don't
this
ever
without
tell me
telling
to
you're
stop
excited.
talking, because
No,
I
yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
This guy gets so excited about this. So excited about this. He will text or call, and it's like he comes down to the studio and he's like, "Guess what else?" And I'm like, "Okay, this is great."
Except
But-
when it's like 4 a.m. in the morning
Well,
with Pam.
that's
It's
yeah.
a
He
whole
gets up
different
early.
story.
Exactly.
You know, I had one or two of those, and she's like, "Tony, you have to stop messing
Stop
with me at
it.
4 a.m." Yeah.
I know. He has. He's been really, really excited. And it's fun to have somebody excited
Yeah.
behind it. I mean, it really is.
Well, it's the other similarity is with Taste, where it's just every little update we get, I'm sharing it with the committee of like,
Yeah.
look what's happening with Taste of Bloomington. Like, this is progressing.
Right.
And so the really cool thing with this, and why I'm so excited that we're partnering and working on this, is that it leads into Taste.
Right.
So the Saturday after this ends is Taste of Bloomington on August 2nd. So every Saturday, May 24th through August 2nd, you have all of these amazing bands.
Yep.
Plus, we're booking some great food trucks for you guys.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And then you're going to have Taste. And that'll
Yeah,
be
you
like,
have Taste.
boom, okay, summer, kids are back to school.
That's fantastic.
And I literally compliment you and your team for bringing back the Taste in Bloomington.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because that was a fabulous time. I think people really missed it.
Yeah, it's still a lot of work to be done.
I can't imagine.
Emergency preparedness plans, power plans.
Do you have enough
know.
volunteers? Are you still looking for volunteers?
We are, yeah. So get a hold of tastebtown@gmail.com
There we
if you want to
go.
volunteer.
Get that in
We're
there.
gonna do it. We're gonna do a specific Taste episode on No Dishes.
Right.
But yeah, you mentioned Food Truck Wednesdays, because we tried that for years on Sales Street, and then the last year or two we did Marci Jane Lewis Park.
Right.
You know, and it's just really tough to do a Wednesday event.
Yeah.
Even in Bloomington, I feel like it would have trouble being sustained.
Yeah.
Right.
And so for this to move to Saturdays, for us to scrap Food Truck Wednesdays, focus our efforts in helping you guys with this, it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
So we're talking about these amazing bands. I know, Pam, you've been the one behind this.
The bands.
The band.
Yeah,
Exactly. Talk us through some of these bands that people can come see.
Okay, excellent. So we're kicking it off with Jen Christie, and I think everybody knows who Jen Christie is. She's a local celebrity herself. Performed with John Mellencamp, has her own entertainment company now. So she represents. So you can it's One Pulse Entertainment. So you can go to that and figure out what show you would like. She does a Aretha Franklin show, a Motown show.
Okay.
So she's bringing the Hall of Fame show to the Summer Concert Series, which is Hall of Fame artists. She'll do a lot of covers and things like that. And she always gets the crowd going. So that's always a good time. Cody Eichert and the Sidewinders, they're 90s outlaw and original country.
They're so good.
They're huge. They're huge. So I was excited that we were able to get them.
Yeah, they did a Food Truck Friday. We had looked at doing Taste. They were already booked. They've done Food Truck Friday before.
Yeah.
And they did a Tyler Childers cover of White House Road. And I'm just like, I was like, this is so,
Yeah.
Get me. Anyway, my voice is bad enough as it is normally, not when I'm like this.
Yeah.
Keep your public speaking job.
Well,
okay?
yeah, exactly. And I don't know if we could air this. We might get flagged for copyright.
Yeah.
With you singing it because it sounds so much like
No,
the
exactly.
original.
That's weird. I didn't know Tyler Childers hosted the No Dishes podcast.
awesome.
Well, you're already off to an amazing start with Jen Christie and Cody Eichert.
Right. I mean, we're trying to find something for everybody.
Yeah.
And it being, a family show. So some people may remember the Y Store. Now, they started in Muncie in the 80s. They got huge in the middle 90s. They had a record deal.
Wow.
They had a couple of hits, Lack of Water and things like that. And they've gone through some changes, but they've got a great band lineup now. Chris Schaefer is the lead. Dan Hunt is their bass player, and he's a Bloomington South guy.
Cool, okay.
And then they have their lead guitarist, Troy, was in a band called Ma Kelly back in the 90s. So it's just a great lineup. That, to me, is like Indiana's version of the Grateful Dead, because
Nice.
they do covers and originals, but they just got that hippie vibe kind of thing
I
going
love
on.
that.
Yeah.
I like to think that Lack of Water isn't the name of a song. You're like, they got real big in the 90s, and they all got really dehydrated, had to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then they got
That's
back
good.
to it. Yeah.
But yeah, that was on the radio a lot.
Yeah,
so
that's
it was
right.
pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, just going down, All Access Band, they do stuff everybody knows, top 40
Yeah,
and
they're
pop
so
and
good.
dance.
I know
They
they've
are.
done some of the B-Town Boulevard tailgates.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
were talking before we started recording, they're going to be on the main stage at Taste of Bloomington
Great.
too.
Yeah.
So that's really nice because they're going to be June 14th.
Okay.
It'll be almost a full 2 months until
Before.
Taste.
Okay,
yeah,
that
so it won't be
works.
super close.
Yeah, we tried to keep as much local as we could, but we did venture out for Indie Annie's because I've heard so much about it. Female-led country band.
Yeah.
They do new, old 90s country and really put on a fantastic show.
Well, and that's great because you have the female-fronted Indianis, female-fronted All Access, Jen Christie.
Yeah.
You have a lot of female-fronted bands too
Yep.
as part of this.
Yes, which gotta love that.
Absolutely,
Gotta love that.
100%.
So we go from pop to country to hippie to pop to country to blues.
I was like, and now we need a little blues. Yeah.
So King Bee and the Stingers, people know all about them. They're huge in the blues community and they are booked all the time. So I was really pumped up that we got them for our night on June 28th, it looks like. And then Toy Factory. Now, they're also from Indianapolis. This is a huge group.
I've
We're talking
heard.
horns
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
backup singers and dancing, and they're going to put on a lot of R&B and dance and funk.
so-
and
See, that's my favorite
such
music.
fun.
100%.
Yeah,
I'll tell
that'll
you
be a
what.
blast.
You know,
It'll
so
get you up and boogie.
I have
You-
not seen Toy Factory, but I've heard all about them. People
Yeah.
are like, you need it
Yeah.
for Food Truck Friday. I know that they're expensive.
Yeah.
I know they're not cheap because
Right.
it's such a big band and everyone
Absolutely.
needs to get paid and they're all really talented.
Right.
Are you wanting to move better, feel better, and live better? Look no further than Move Bloomington. With their small group personal training programs are designed to improve strength, balance, and flexibility. With a welcoming environment, their expertly guided workouts can help you feel supported in the life and activities you love in and out of the gym. Whether you're new to exercise, a lifelong athlete, or anywhere in between, their dedication to personalized programming will deliver sessions that meet you where you are. Get started today using the code NODISHES to get 50% off their 3-session Kickstart program. So to have people of this caliber and it's free to attend,
I know.
is
It's
silly.
pretty
It's
exciting.
so cool. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exciting. The thing I like too, and maybe it's because I'm getting old, but it's early. It's an early concert. It's like 6 to 8:30.
Yeah, okay.
So that's great. You can even still go out afterwards if you have that in you, but it's a nice time if you have that in you.
I love that.
I'll be going-
If you had that in, I'm going to be going straight to bed. But if you have that in you,
I don't have it in me anymore, but yeah. And then Melon Cougar probably speaks for itself. They do
sucking on a
fantastic.
chili dog.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
John Cougar Mellencamp type of stuff. And then also coming from One Pulse Entertainment that Jen Christie runs, she also runs it with Eric Brown.
Okay.
So that's one of their groups too, Eric Brown and the Boat Drinkers. So if you like island music, Jimmy Buffett,
There we
wear
go.
your Hawaiian shirts and lays and all that good stuff. That'll be fun. And then we're going to end it with 80s hair music.
What? Yeah, you got to.
Glam
You got
America.
to.
Glam America. So that's going to be a blast too. And I'm hoping people get into it and maybe even dress the part,
Yeah.
come in your 80s gear.
And maybe
or-
advertise like a prize for the best dress.
that's a great idea,
that
actually.
week,
That'd
you
be
know?
fun. That
Well,
would
one
be
of the
fun.
things that and Pam's done an excellent job with all of these bands, but each with kind of a theme night.
Mm-hmm.
So for the kind of Jimmy Buffett type,
Yeah.
we're going to have beach balls out there throwing them around,
Yes.
surfboard carrying around.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, we want everybody to come there and to just enjoy
Yeah.
and have a great time. And the only thing that you have to do is if you get hungry, go over to your place,
Yeah.
for all of the food trucks.
Right.
And there's such a variety of different food.
Oh, yeah.
And I thank you for that.
Yeah, we're still solidifying the lineup,
Okay.
but we're so fortunate to have such an eclectic mix of food trucks in
gosh.
the Bloomington area, whether it's tacos, gyros, Venezuelan, Filipino, Hawaiian
Right.
barbecue, Jamaican, Fat Daddy.
Everything.
Fat Daddy's
Yeah,
is
it's
going to
good
be
bit,
there.
yeah.
Fat Daddy's barbecue is
Excellent.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Bruce came on, was an amazing guest, one of our most watched episodes,
Really?
which is a testament because they've only been open for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And for him to already be just such a viewed
Yeah.
out, you can tell people care about him and his story
Right.
and his product. So we're excited to have that. You guys just did such an amazing job of covering all the bases from hippie to Jimmy Buffett style to big hair band
Yeah.
to blues, R&B, pop hits.
It's going to be
everything.
a party. It is
Yeah.
going to be a party. I
And
can't
since
wait.
she knows a lot of these bands, guess who's going to be the MC? Pam.
Oh, who else?
Well,
No,
I
yes.
couldn't have chose anybody better than Pam to be able
No,
to be
yeah, you got
the
it
MC
in-house,
for the whole
absolutely.
evening.
In-house, exactly. And I get to do all the stupid, I was going to say pet tricks, stupid people tricks to give away prizes,
I
that
love
kind
it.
of thing. So
See, it's hard for
it'll be
her to
fun.
say dumb stuff.
It is. It is. Dumb stuff. We're going to make
it's
people do dumb
it's
stuff.
crazy, but people get into it.
Yeah, but that's part of just the cutting loose, having fun.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, we're being silly.
Right.
And honestly, and now, not to get honest, but like now more than ever, I
No,
feel
you're right.
like everyone just
You're right.
needs that to like
Yeah.
put everything that's going on in the world aside and just cut loose, have
Yeah.
some good food, have some good music, get silly.
Exactly.
Maybe win a gift card or two.
Right, right. We won't be talking politics at these things.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I love
But
it.
you're right. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
And I really want to compliment the town of Ellettsville.
Yes.
Because they have went well out of their way. It's going to be well-protected area. It's sad to say that some places across the United States had some horrific incidents, like in New Orleans and stuff.
Yeah.
So the city got together with a new ordinance. We're going to have 2 policemen on hand. We're going to have the fire, police, and all of them down there, and EMT, just to keep it safe. So if anything does happen, we're all well protected.
Yeah.
But what you find out is that people are having so much fun, and it's from 6 until 8:30.
Yeah.
It's not one of these big drink fests.
It's not a marathon.
No,
yeah.
not at all. So you're there to have fun. Your kids can get up in front, dance around, have fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and that park is such a great venue and
Yeah.
space. So it's so nice to see it utilized in a way like this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is really important to know that you can be safe. And I mean, I did a site visit with you guys, and
Yeah.
the whole town was there. Yeah, as far, you know what I mean? Like as far
Ellettsville's
as
excited.
people that work for Ellettsville,
yeah.
they were all there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got the fire captain, you got the police chief.
Yep.
Everyone has a hand in putting this on, and I'm glad you brought that back up because I wanted to show some love to Mike Farmer and Denise Line. Mike's the town manager. Denise, I'm not sure her specific role,
Yeah.
but those have been the 2 we've worked with the most over the years for Food Truck Wednesdays,
Right.
and they are so passionate about putting on cool community events.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Food Truck Friday and Taste of Bloomington is it's something you can take pride in your community.
Right.
And that's what this does for Ellettsville, and I think Ellettsville needs this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
kudos to you
and
guys.
there's parking. Parking is very simple there
Yeah,
too, right?
and
Plenty of parking.
basically, we're still trying to work out the details, but we'll have plenty of parking for folks. And if they park, let's say at the high school, we'll have like some shuttle services, that kind of thing to
Nice.
shuttle people in.
That's great.
So the idea is we've hopefully have thought of everything to make it easy for people to enjoy, and for people to take a bus. It's not going to cost them a penny.
Well,
Very
and
nice.
also show some love to Smithville. They're the headliner sponsor
big-
for this,
Yep.
and I know that it wouldn't be possible without Smithville's support.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's great.
Smithville, and the other thing is there's the other 3 that we could not do this without, and that is Master Rental with Darren.
Yeah.
He's providing all the tents and stuff,
Yeah.
done an excellent job. Also, we have Johnny Signs
I
from
see,
down
yeah.
in Bedford. He's doing all of the decorating of the stage and the banners around, and he's putting up banners at each end of the community, talking about the summer
cool.
concerts and stuff.
I'm still finding out about
I know,
this.
that's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
great.
Pam, honestly, you start asking
me more.
questions. Yeah.
And then we have, IU Credit Union, which has done a great job with the stage and taking care of the expenses of the band and stuff.
Yeah.
These people we could not live without, and I thank them so very much.
Yeah, that's huge. And again, I got to shout out Master Rental because
Yeah.
they're a big reason the taste can happen.
Right.
They came
Yeah.
on as our headlining sponsor, like Smithville for you guys. So Darren and Master Rental, they care about the community. They care about
Right.
giving back. They could easily just say, no, pay us.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
they're very good at what they do.
Yes.
But no, they're willing to do some stuff in kind to make this stuff happen. So if you have any rental needs, go see Darren and Master. Well, they deserve it.
We
It's
all
true.
recommend
Well,
Darren.
they deserve it. I mean,
They do.
just
They make it very easy too.
they
Yeah.
miss out on tens of thousands of dollars in
Because
order
they're
to help
involved.
put on cool community
Right.
events.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I would love to see them get some of that back from people to going to them.
I mean,
'cause
there are
they know.
graduation parties coming up and stuff like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
I've been looking.
Yeah,
too.
Darren's like, no, I'm already full. Don't call me about graduation. Yeah. Next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry about that, Darren.
One of
We're
the
good.
other things is once that this whole thing is over at the end of July. July 26th is the last concert. That in August, I think it's set for August 9th, we're going to have a VIP party. And obviously, you're welcome.
He likes parties. This guy
I love
loves
it, yeah.
parties. So I played in a band for years, so parties.
Well, we're going to get to your backstory. I'm excited to get to that. Yeah.
Check. Coming to you this summer, it's the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville. Brought to you by B97 and Hoosier Country 105.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Enjoy live music every Saturday from May 24th through July 26th. That's 10 weeks of music every Saturday evening from 6:30 to 8. Located at the Marci Jane Lewis Park. And did I mention it's free? Dance the night away with the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville.
So the idea is that we're going to use Roto-Rooter for, they've got a huge garage, and then all of a sudden we're setting up the PA. God love Tori, who used to work for the radio station.
Yeah, is that Winslow Ranch Marching?
And so he's doing all of our video for the summer concerts, and he's going to be putting together a 10 to 15 minute promo that we can use to go out in further editions. But we're going to show that video at the actual VIP party. We're going to have a spread of food for people, drink, everything else, and it's just going to be a fun evening for everyone, because the whole idea is for all of the businesses and all of us to network with each other, and just have a great time.
I'm excited, and you will be through it. You know, it's all been accomplished and done, and it's a chance to give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done, and to show thank you to all of these. Again, you said 30-some sponsors, which is nuts, because I've been trying to raise money for Taste. It's not easy.
It's not
easy getting sponsors. So that's incredible, what you guys have put together. So you've said, we have food trucks on site. You got the prize giveaways. Bringing your own lawn chairs and blankets, right?
Right. That's going to be important because there's some seating that's available for you, for anybody that's eating. We'll have all the picnic tables around by the food trucks and stuff. And then we'll have some bleachers out in the grass areas. But if you want to get up around the stage and all of that, we ask you that you bring your own lounge chairs. And and if you want to bring your drinks and stuff,
I was going to ask.
Yeah, that's fine.
She's like, so can I bring a box of Franzia? It's 2.5 hours. I'll only drink half. No,
I'm talking pop.
Gotcha.
Wink, wink.
Gotcha.
Hey, Garrett, if we throw that up on the screen so people can see here. Here's the park. So over to the left here along the road will be where all the food trucks are. And then over in the parking lot to the right will be all the seating. And then to your right over there is the stage. And you have all this space. You're going to have some tent, but there's the stage. And then you can see that if you go all the way behind this, Garrett, keep spinning around, you can sit up on this hill.
Oh, that's cool.
And you got the creek, and there's all this area where you're going to be able to see and hear the band from way back there.
Cool. And there's swings and stuff.
Playground, Oh, yeah. No, it's just such a cool space, and to see it utilized to this extent is going to be a lot of fun. So this is something I didn't know. If there's bad weather, which is a pain in the ass when it comes
Indiana,
to again, with Food Truck Friday, doing a weekly event in Indiana that's outdoors is very difficult.
Right.
You guys have a plan, which I couldn't.
It's the plan.
We just cancel. You don't do that. This is there's a little bit more money behind this than Food Truck Friday. But you moved to Seven Oaks, is that right?
Yes, we moved to Seven Oaks, and that couldn't be possible unless, again, for Darren, and I want to thank him, because we'll make the decision early in the morning at about 9, 10 o'clock, and then he will come in. He will set up the stage in the gymnasium.
Wow.
And then we'll invite everybody to come out to the gymnasium. We won't have all the sponsor setups and stuff like
that. It'll be scaled down.
But it'll be much scaled down, but at least the concerts will continue.
The show goes on. Yeah, that's huge. That's so awesome. And then for updates on that, they can listen in at or go to wbwb.com.
Yes.
Okay.
And they'll also be able to be listening to, because once we make the change, we'll have that on B97 and Hoosier Country.
And I'm sure on social medias and the website and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hell yeah. This is so I'm so excited. You guys, the poster looks amazing. Again, from my experience trying to do taste, I know how much work goes into just the info you see on here.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So kudos to you guys for making this happen.
One of the things that's important is that there's a lot of events, and I don't think that anybody in Monroe County can be complaining that there's nothing to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're nuts if they do. And because I do compliment Julie with the Parks and Rec, with the great job that she's doing. Ellettsville now with us in the summer concerts. Spencer's got their own thing with Tier 10, and I don't mind mentioning that.
Yeah.
They're bringing in high name quality bands, but they're charging $25, et cetera, for that. Ours is absolutely free.
Yeah, so I mean, it's mapped out for you. You go to Food Truck Friday on Friday.
Yeah.
Great, free to attend, great food and music. Then you probably get more expensive, maybe better music, bigger bands with great food, but a little less food, a little more music on Saturday.
Yep.
But they're free. They're both free.
They're both free.
It's like, what more could you want?
Why not?
And it's the stuff like this that makes me so proud to live in Bloomington, to be, there's so much negativity. It was like, oh, there's a new apartment building, or oh, this. It's like, can we focus on the cool shit that Bloomington does?
That's exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, and we're not on the radio, by the way. You guys can say shit. It's
okay.
great.
Yeah.
I saw you both looked at me, and you're so radio trained.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go to confession.
no, yeah. Tony starts just dropping a bunch of F-bombs. It's like, whoa, Tony. There's still a line.
The thing about But Bloomington was so known. I mean, in the 90s, and we've talked about this, it was like such a place where people came to see great music.
Yeah.
And it was getting on the map. And it was like, Bloomington's the place to be. It's got the places for these bands to play. And what I like about this is these are all ages places for the bands to play. And we're getting a lot of people in town. We got a lot of great local talent. We've got regional talent, and I think it puts Bloomington back on the map for that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's great because Visit Bloomington, who's our big presenting sponsor for No Dishes, and we thank them for that. They've started, they did a couple summer concert series with Molly Tuttle, who just won the Bluegrass Grammy that year, and these amazing Thursday summer concert series, and with Music Bloomington and the Music Expo, to where I know they're happy to see. We should be known, like Bloomington's known for the arts,
right?
And so like it's so great to see that cultivated and just nurtured. Well, this is sick, guys.
Ask Tony about his background.
Well, that's where I was going next. Yeah. Well,
I want to hear that story again.
I want to make sure we covered all the details on this, and then it's like, all right, we can stop. We're out of promo mode. Now we're in get to know each other, which I've had the opportunity. Well, Pam, I've known you for a long time. And we had our sit down.
Yep.
But I still want to dive into your You're like
another day.
We're still going.
We don't have enough time.
No, but Tony, you came here from Alaska. Better business, better community. For over a century, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce has been a cornerstone of business growth and community development. They are dedicated to helping local businesses thrive. Their business is all about your business. Join the chamber today. Call 812-336-6381 or visit chamberbloomington.org to learn more.
Alaska. Can you believe it? Yeah, I used to work for a company called Cherry Management, and they would send me into all these local, either small, medium markets were having difficulty. And if I had to get rid of a staff and restart or do whatever, that was my job. Some places I could be there for 3 months. Sometimes I could be there for 2 years. I was in Nome, Alaska for 2 years.
Wow.
And where it was 6 months darkness, and it was also 3 months, or I should say 6 months light.
Yeah.
So at midnight, it was like it's noon here.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. And you'd have kids playing out in the street at midnight.
You got the map.
We're doing everything.
It's
Where's
way
Nome,
out there.
Alaska?
Alaska,
And what's really scary about it, the road go about 20 miles, and then it's all tundra. You either fly out or you boat out.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only way that you can get in.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it's where the true Alaskan native really lies. And the history, I don't have time to talk about all of that, but the idea is you can take all the cruises you want. It's beautiful. Alaska's a beautiful state.
Yeah.
But if you get into the interior and the farther north you go, you see how they actually live.
Yeah.
And they'll have fish camps. They go out hunting all summer. All of this food that they gather during the summer is for them to live on during the winter, and that's all they have.
That's wild.
You know. So anyway, but before then, when I was in Des Moines, Iowa, and I was working for Clear Channel, and we had a band that played for about 17 years, and we traveled all over the United States. And we played anywhere from 60s all the way up to the current. And I had a keyboard. I played keys. I got a B3 Hammond, and we played all great. We were a show band. And by that, I mean that we'd have sets with Elvis Presley, our lead singer, would come out dressed as Elvis Presley. We'd do a Beach Boy set with the striped shirts and doing all of that stuff. Well, when we started talking about this, I had saw some bands that just sit at a stage and play. Yeah. And I said, no, I want a bands that are going to be interactive, draw the crowd in and let them have a wonderful time. Mm-hmm. And if you're just playing, they're not going to have, the audience isn't going to have fun. And that's what the whole thing is about, the audience having fun. If they're having fun, they're going to go out and talk about it.
Right.
Consistently. So,
100%.
Yeah. So I've been, I don't hate to say this because I'm still young. I'm going to be turning 73.
Wow.
In May 4th.
Okay.
Coming up here.
May
So
I've been in radio for 45 years.
Are you a big Star Wars fan?
The fourth be with you.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I don't have any heart to stop. I want to keep going.
I was going to say, you've got more energy maybe than Pam and I.
I think so. He gets really pumped up about that. He really gets excited.
Great. I mean, the meetings that we've had, I could just feel the excitement. And you want to be involved in that. And it's cool.
On a side note, I thought Nome, Alaska was like the little gnomes that you have in the yard. But it's
I was thinking it was John. Well, I thought it was spelled the same way.
Is that where it came from?
It is right outside of Fort Davis, which I'm sure is named after some very great people.
The biggest event that they had every year, and many people know this, is they had the Alaskan dog races that were up there.
They had those in Nome?
Yeah, in Nome. Cool. And that was where the finishing line was.
Oh, okay.
And they started out in like an Anchorage, and they'd drive those dogs all the way through. So when they got about 10 miles or so outside of Nome, we would take our vehicle and follow them all the way in.
Wow.
And when these guys got in, you talk about the bitter cold going through the mountains and stuff. Yeah. Their faces were so beat, chapped, red, unbelievable.
Can only imagine.
So,
yeah, that's Garrett. Throw that on the screen if you didn't already.
And if I did, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is so cool.
Isn't there's like a Disney movie I watched as a kid that was about the Iditarod.
Yeah,
the Iditarod. And the other thing is that that's the park area that you just had up there, and the Nome. I don't think there was a day, the highest that the temperature would ever get. When I was there in 2 years was 60 degrees.
Really?
But the low was 50 below.
That's insane.
And when it snowed, it went sideways.
That's nuts. I just would love, watching like Into the Wild.
Yeah.
Or just like seeing, the summer in Alaska. I feel like it's just got to be such a beautiful place to visit.
Well, the thing is we had to go out in twos out to the transmitter because, there was black bear and brown bear. But every once in a while, we would absolutely get the polar bear.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That would migrate
crazy.
north from the north to come south. And
something we don't worry about here.
No, not at all. So did you always pick a person that was slower than you to go with you?
No, because I needed somebody that was much taller, because when you walk on the snow going out to you can drop into the snow and it would go up to my head, and my hands would have to go up above the hole, and he'd have to pull me out of the thing.
Yeah, was that a segment on the show up there? Where's Tony? Yeah.
Instead
Tony?
of Waldo. Where's
Tony.
Yeah, we lost him again.
We lost Tony.
This can't keep happening.
So funny.
So, Pam, I think you'd love it up there.
Yeah. I heard there's the ratio from men to women. It's like I'd have a shot. But yeah.
That would be a fun segment for the Summer Concert Series.
That's
Where
right.
all my single bachelors at? Tony's like, what is Pam doing?
What is she doing?
You're like, I'm going rogue. Don't worry about it. Like, the next prize is a date with me.
It's a date with me. I like that. Yes.
Yeah,
Pam
you're like,
really
who doesn't
is a
have a
wholesome
Viagra pill?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. On to the next subject.
We're not going to live this one down.
No. So you touched a lot on playing in the bands, working at radio stations. You said Des Moines. Where are you originally from?
Originally from Webster City, Iowa, and that's about 75 miles northwest of Des Moines. And then after I graduated from college, I was a teacher for 6 years in speech, theater, debate-directed plays, children's theater, improv, did all of that stuff. And so really found my calling and then decided that I was teaching so much TV, radio broadcasting that I wanted to go back to school. But I figured before I do that, I'd find out what the radio business was like. Got into it and never got out.
Sucked you right in.
Stayed right into it. So it's been a really wonderful ride. And the one thing that it's my wife and I, we always laugh because she's always telling me, she says, no matter where we go, she says, radio people are all crazy. And I said,
Really?
you know why? Because I said, we're all creative.
Yeah.
We've got
Good
these
answer.
talents. And there's so
very
much.
smart.
That's right. And there's some of the smartest people that I know that are in radio, executives to on-air talent and that kind of thing. So I've just loved being, and when we moved here, I say this with all sincerity, my wife and I love this area. And it's like a city in the woods, Bloomington.
Yeah.
And some people kind of look at me when I say that, but I go, I love the woods. I love the surrounding area and how beautiful it is.
Right.
And so we found a home, bought a home, and we're here to stay.
I love it. What's been your favorite part of living in Bloomington so far, yours or your wife's?
I love all the food. And talking to you, I want to go to more food places. No, it's the cultural things, with the IU auditorium and all of the things. I love the sports. I love, I'm heavily involved with IU athletics with Mark and Robert and those guys. And to see these programs excel and move forward. And as everybody knows, that Hoosier Country is the flagship for IU athletics, and it's just a wonderful time to be a part of it.
Oh, absolutely!
It's great.
Yeah.
If a lot of great name recognition and everything.
If
else.
we can get a good season of football and basketball, both being like,
oh my gosh,
top 25,
that'd be fantastic.
It'd be fantastic.
I don't know if we're ready for Bloomington can handle that.
The
The campus might burn down from all the
football
students.
games last year. Never in my life have I ever thought that they would be sold out, and you see so much excitement, and so fun.
I loved it.
So fun. I loved it too. Yeah.
So Pam, we got to talk about it last time. Look, can we talk about your background? And for those that didn't see, because your episode was over 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
So you were on season 4. We're on season 8 now. I think when your episode came out, we didn't even put them directly onto Facebook like we do now.
Right.
Then it was just YouTube, Spotify.
Okay, got it.
Now we put them directly onto Facebook, which has helped a ton of people.
Yeah.
They'll just hit play instead of having to click on a link. And
so
next
much
thing you know.
Right.
If you don't mind, I'm going to sit back and I just want to listen.
Yeah, Pam.
I just want to see what Pam's all about.
I'm going to sit back too.
Just let her have the mic. We could leave for a while and she'd still be talking.
Please, regale us of tales.
Tales.
Of Thrash of Yore.
Thrash of Yore. So do you want to know how I got into radio?
Yes, I want to know from the beginning.
Okay, from when I was 11 years old.
Yes, there it is. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I was 11 years old. I broke my leg in 2 places, and I was bedridden for like 3 months. My 4th grade teacher came to my house to tutor me so that I wouldn't be held back. But the most important thing that happened during that time is my mom bought me a cassette recorder that had a little microphone on it. So I spent many days pretending to be a radio DJ. I listened to WLS in Chicago. So I would introduce songs, I would do interviews, and luckily I had older brothers that would help me out. And from the times, like I interviewed Muhammad Ali, and I would be Howard Cosell and this kind of stuff. And my brother sometimes would sing, and I'd introduce him. So I really got into all that then when I was that age. And it was always something, it's like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
This is so much. And it was like, I got really cocky as I got a little older because I thought, I'm going to be a rock star, a radio DJ, and I'll be in movies.
Yeah. It's just that easy.
Yeah.
It's like the old Ron-Co infomercial.
The old trifecta. The old trifecta. So luckily in high school, we'll move up to high school in Muncie, we had a radio station at our high school, and it broadcast through Muncie. So it was an actual radio station.
Yeah.
So I did radio shows there. And then I went to IU, and I started out in telecom because that's all I wanted to do. And I dropped out because the classes were too hard. I got my first D, I think, ever. They had a weeding out class for telecom majors, and I got weeded out. And they said, well, you can go ahead and retake the class, and I'm like, I'm switching majors. I'm switching.
That's the spirit.
Forget it. And my dad's like, I don't care what you do. You have to get out in 4 years because I'm not paying for any more than 4 years. So anyway, I got a criminal justice degree. Wild, I know, but I'm a crime documentary junkie, and it was a fun degree.
Yeah.
But I worked as a social worker for about a year after college. Welfare department, that kind of thing. And
That had to have been
child
tough.
welfare. I did child welfare.
Oh, man.
It was awful.
Those
And
are like the most unsung heroes, are the people that do that
man.
for a living.
No doubt.
Teachers, nurses, and like
Yeah.
social workers.
Yeah.
it was awful. And, you know, it was one of those things where I was always upset coming home from work. You never really felt like you could help anyone. There was so much red tape. And I was looking at women that were maybe 5 years older than me, still in it, that looked like they were 90. I mean, it was just like it took so much out of
I
them.
can only imagine.
So I got on the phone in 1989 and I called around various radio stations and I just said, look, this is what I want to do. Should I go back to school? What do you want? And a station in Bedford, WQRK, they were like, come down and audition. We just fired somebody. We need a part-time person. So I started there in 89 and then been in radio ever since.
The No Dishes podcast is brought to you by VisitBloomington.com. VisitBloomington.com is the best resource for restaurant and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at VisitBloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town.
I love it.
And I did some band things. I was in an
I was gonna
all-girl
say,
band.
you left a lot out, but that's it. that was too concise.
Was that concise? I've broken it down.
No, that was good. That was good.
But yeah, no, I did the music thing too. I play guitar and I sing, and so I was in an all-girl band my freshman year in college, and then I did various bands throughout. But the funny thing is I actually got shyer as I got older. The confidence wasn't as much as when I was a teenager. And we talked about, I still get anxiety being in front of people, like thinking about it. Nobody would ever think that because I'm crazy.
We were talking about this, I think, before we even started recording.
Yeah.
How no one thinks that about me.
You would never think that.
But like, it happens. It's
it
real.
really does. And I did the retro dance nights.
I was going to bring
in
those
99.
up. I'm glad you brought those up.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I was like, she didn't talk about retro dance. We're talking about retro dance.
So in 99, I started the retro lunch show on B97. And I remember not knowing what to call it. And I did a contest and somebody said retro lunch. I'm like, that's cool. Now you hear it everywhere, you know?
So have you been doing the retro lunch hour for 26 years now?
Yeah.
That's great.
Long time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is wild to
Isn't
think
that
about.
crazy?
Yes.
One show. You don't see that very often.
But just that consistency.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. Love it. Love it. And I took it out on the road. We did retro dance nights. And that was, I am like center of attention. You know, I'm playing the music. They've got me on a stage. And I would literally be so nervous before those. I'd have to drink.
Yeah. I know. I understand.
But I would get really nervous. But then, once you're in it, it's a lot of fun, and I would get people into it. But I did those. Gosh, I did them. It was called Jake's Nightclub at the time, and then I did them at Kilroy's Sports Bar for a while. And
You've done some at the Bluebird, I think.
Bluebird, yeah. And I remember one of my final times doing them, like at the clubs. I remember they were calling me DJ Mom. Hey, DJ Mom's here, and I'm like, okay,
Okay. All right. It's mommy. All right.
yeah, it's mommy. Yeah, it's mommy.
You're like, I got a little edge to me.
I know, but no, that was a blast at the time. And when it first started, it was like there would be a line out the door, going down the block, and it was just so much fun. And I fell in love with the community during all of that. And, I was like, this is the only place I want to live. This is fantastic. So, yeah, you got to mention Retro Dance Nights.
100%. Well, I mean, you're not, there's a lot of people that are just radio DJs, but you're a DJ too.
Yeah.
And you and DJ Unique have like thrown a lot of gigs my way, which I'm really appreciative for.
Right.
And I've like had random ones where like, hey, I can't do this. Are you guys free?
Yeah.
So I love that culture of DJs we have here in Bloomington.
We're all very supportive.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, oh, I'm getting more gigs.
Right.
It's like, hey, here's one, I told them you're great, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So, yeah, I've had a fun past. I have.
I'd say so.
I really have.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nothing else I can say.
We need to start doing a retro break on the episode. It's like, now we're going to take a retro retro song break.
What happened June 3rd, 1993?
Yeah, we just throw on one song and start bopping around.
You're just getting a sample of exactly why I love the radio station, because I get to work with people like Pam and Rick Evans
and Kev
and all of these people.
Yeah.
They're great, and they know, and that's one of the things that what I really enjoy about my job as being the manager is I said, this is your responsibility. I don't want to worry about it.
It's true. He's a hands-off guy.
That's great.
And I don't worry about it.
I love that. That's great.
And
that's, I mean, that's a testament to having a good crew around you.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, it is hard to delegate because you're like, hey, if I want it done right, I need to do it myself.
Right.
But when you're surrounded by such talent,
Well, and Tony's so fun because he's had this background. He's not just a managerial boss that's, we need the money, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
He's very creative, and he gets excited and gets us excited, and it really has been a lot of fun.
When
You're
I came
goofy.
up on
who doesn't want a
You're
goofy
just
boss?
goofy.
Well,
Yes.
when I came up to her, I go, I'm really looking forward, Pam, for you being the MC. And she goes, well, we're going to have to talk about salary.
I did ask about that.
I almost said it earlier, be like, I hope when he said you were emceeing, I almost said, well, I hope you're getting paid more.
I do ask that. I got you.
Hey.
Mama's got to make a living.
Hey, you get what you pay for. You're like, if you want the top tier MC,
You really want me there every Saturday?
It's like, otherwise you're gonna pay for a budget one, get someone like me
budget.
up there. You're like, all right, you guys ready for the next band? All right, very well now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, there's no turnaround now. Let's put it that way.
No, you are. I can't
Gotta do it
imagine
now.
a better MC than Pam for this
Oh, my
event.
No,
gosh.
it's
It'll be
going to
fun.
be fantastic and all professional. And I told the staff that I said, for years we have done the tailgate parties, and the first year or so that I was there, I saw the bands and stuff, and they did a great job and stuff. I'm taking nothing, but I wanted more professionalism and from everybody. And next thing you know, we talked, and one of our great sponsors is IU Credit Union, and they paid a lot more money to get bigger bands.
Yeah.
And so the thing is we grew that, and I said, okay, now we're getting to the stage, of where I want us to be for the summer concerts. I don't want this to be just a tailgate party. I want it to be when people come, they're going to go, wow, this is really professionally done.
Yeah.
And it's hard to believe, that all of a sudden that we're doing it this way, because I want the staff to walk away feeling proud. I want them to feel that. I want the city to feel proud, or the town to feel proud, So there's a lot of good things happening.
Yeah.
Really good things happening.
Well, and just to go have that and cost you nothing.
Well, I'm
free to
proud of
attend.
it. I really am, and I hope they're all proud of
I'm
it too.
very
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
I'm very.
No, it's cool. We used to have, like I said, Bloomington was such a huge music place for people to go. And this just solidifies it to me because we get to feature a lot of local bands and regional bands and all ages, and people can come out and enjoy.
Yeah, there's just no better feeling than just watching something that you put on, seeing all these different walks of life. Everyone's just there again because it costs nothing. There's no barrier. Right. It's
the nice thing is that, and this is a compliment to you, you're helping us to be successful. And that's why B97 and Hoosier Country want, the taste of Bloomington to be successful for you too.
Well, it's a community.
It's joining together.
Well, it's community. You can't do this stuff for free without community partners.
Right.
And, taste used to cost to attend, and we're trying to make it free to attend, but you need help from a lot of community partners. And this list is extensive. Those are all the sponsors. They're real tiny. You can't see them. Like you said, there's 30. And those are a lot of meetings, a lot of conversations to have to make it all work. The radio business has always fascinated me. And I enjoyed in the past, and we're going to do this again this year, when Taste of Bloomington, we got to be a vendor, and some vendors got to sign up for when they could come on the radio and talk about what they'd be serving and bring in some food.
My gosh,
I got to do that a couple times, and I was a nervous wreck. It was before I had the podcast, before this, and I'm just like, oh God, I'm going to be on the radio. But it was so much fun, and it helps promote the event so much. We're going to have you guys, we're going to have WFHB. It's going to get the word out there. But then to come into studio at B97 and you guys get to have a little food from people.
Oh, and it's always during my show.
Well, one of the fun things. One of the fun things that I like to listen to, and I really like to talk about talent, and when you're on with Glass in the afternoon. Great entertainment.
Well, Glass is a radio professional like Pam, where you put anyone across from them, they're going to make them look and sound good.
Glass is awesome.
He's just a consummate professional I don't know. I did the live stream for the Bloom food issue results. I can't imagine filling time by just myself. You know what I mean? Like I always have guests, but just the people that can fill time on their own, that's a whole nother skill set. And absolutely. Glass has that, Pam has that, and I can't even imagine having to do that all the time, because I did that 50-minute live stream, and that took everything out of me. I was like, and I was scared.
Done.
I was scared shitless going into it. But it was a lot of fun once I got through. Like you said, you get nervous, and then once you're same with DJing or being whatever, you're nervous, and then you get into it, and you're like, oh, I'm having fun. This is great. But the radio business has always fascinated me, and I mean, how have you guys had to pivot and change as more people are using, audio streaming services, stuff like that, to still be, because, people look at newspapers and it's like, oh, everyone's looking at stuff online. How does B97 and Hoosier, Country, how do you stay, relevant and still engaging?
There's something that Spotify and online listening, there's something that they can't do, and that is be local. And so people can listen to the radio to find out what's going on, in the community. They can find out about, local weather. They can hear local voices, like people are, I grew up listening to you kind of thing. So you can get music anywhere, and for free a lot of times, but you can't get the local flavor that local radio gives you.
The Bloomington Town Planner is a community calendar owned and published by local residents John and Sharon Martin. Mailed out to Bloomington homes in December of each year, it features school schedules and community events. And don't forget the coupons at the bottom of the calendar. They'll save you money and help you decide on the next restaurant or retailer to check out here in the Bloomington area. Town Planner also has an online calendar which will be found at townplanner.com. Make sure to sign up for their weekly e-newsletter so you can stay on top of all the fun events going on around town.
What I like is when I'm on the road and I'm traveling, I like to listen to radio going across the different states and hear all the different personalities. And one of the things that I've always enjoyed, because it's what I used to do when I was on air. And I used to run a CHR station, and then it got to be 50s and 60s. I opened the phone lines, and I had fun.
Oh, man.
And still to this day, because Pam's right, if you can hit local news, local weather, local commentary about the things that are going on, you can be topical, funny, do all of those things, but at the same time, take the pressure away from the personality and make the on-caller the one that's having fun, and they can be the one that can be really funny. And that's the whole idea, to get that two-way conversation going, because then it's like the water cooler talk.
100%. Do you guys open the phone lines very much? I would love to call into Pam's show.
We do.
Yeah.
Be like, Pammy, what up?
I used to do a thing. I used to do a call in and sing in your request Friday with Retro Lunch.
Nice. Okay.
And that was always fun because people would sing their little hearts out. But it got to where every Friday it was like, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Right.
And it's like, all right.
So, okay. So,
Sing something else.
Yeah.
But something we do different is, and this to me is still wild, is people can text us too.
Nice. Okay.
So they can text us requests. I mean, it's obviously fun to do on air.
Right.
And you have to generally maybe not be live because, if you say shit on air, it's just not the same as here.
I know. Well, and it's when
you got to be careful.
When I first started doing the radio show with Glass a few years ago, I'm like, buddy, this is not a good idea. I curse a lot.
Yeah.
And I behave myself on here.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I was like, I'm gonna slip. But I haven't once yet.
That's
great. Once you're in that,
once you're in the zone.
Well, you want to be comfortable. You know, you want to be comfortable. You want to be yourself on air.
Right.
But if yourself normally curses, you're like, oh, I can't get too comfortable.
Exactly.
So I always treat it like I'm around my nieces and nephews.
That's smart.
You know what I mean?
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Where I'm still like, oh, I love them. We're having fun. But I'm trying not to curse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's right. That's what radio is. You try not to curse.
This may not be. For example, I used to do something that was like have the callers call in, and I said, okay, when it's time to change your toilet paper, do you go under or over?
See, that's over, and anyone that does under, I don't trust them.
Yeah, okay, see, there's all of these comments.
I do under
and it was
because
fun.
of cats. I mean, if you have a cat,
okay, that's a valid excuse.
Okay.
Yep.
Or reason.
It's an excuse. I was like, I'm so sorry.
That was a Freudian slip. I have strong feelings. No, that is
so.
that is a valid reason.
Yeah.
But to me, I was actually having this debate with my girlfriend because she did it.
That's so funny.
She said she didn't care and didn't even pay attention.
Yeah.
Which might even be wilder than going under.
See, I don't care. I don't get people that care that much. I really don't. There was one time, is it still there? At the radio station, our main restroom, somebody actually put like a diagram on the wall that showed how you're supposed to put it.
How to put it on.
I would be that person.
After all of this interview that we've had, the three of us need to do our own morning show.
100%. You let me know. Well,
if it can start at 7 at night, that'd be great.
That was my next question is when do I get to do a part-time radio gig with B97? And we could just
do anytime.
Yeah, it could just be, I don't know. I'll think of a catchy tagline.
Okay.
But it could be calling in on things people feel strongly about.
Yeah.
Like
that
that.
would be fun.
All right, last thing we do before we go, we got to talk food, obviously.
Let's talk
about your favorite burger spot, your favorite pizza spot, your favorite breakfast spot. Do you have a favorite date night spot yet?
To go out and eat, both my wife and I love steak.
Okay.
And there's three places, and I'm hesitating not because I don't want to say their name, because I can't remember their name. There's a couple of steakhouses downtown.
Yeah, Yonkos.
Yeah, Yonkos, and there's another one down there, right?
Or
the cafe.
Uptown.
Okay, Uptown Cafe.
They've redone their menu to where it is a little more steakhousey, where you have all these different cuts, and this is newer. Their executive chef, Adam Nossinger, who was on here, is incredible. Mm-hmm. And they have all these different cuts, and then they have all these accoutrements, like blue cheese crumbles, horseradish cream. Fancy. So you really can customize your steak, which is something that I don't think anyone else in town really does to the level that Uptown is doing it now.
Right.
Let's see if Garrett's got it here. Yeah, look at that. Look at all the sauces and garnishes.
Oh, wow.
So you can do filet, strip, ribeye, or the pork chop, and you have all these different ways to customize it. So I did filet. Last time I was in there, I did filet with the blue cheese crust and horseradish cream.
Holy cow.
That
looks so good. That looks so good.
It was not bad.
It was not bad.
I will tell you that much.
Yeah.
Now, my wife and I like Indian food.
Yeah, okay.
And that's great. And the next one because I've heard about it, and that's one of your friends that has the Filipino food.
Yeah.
And I really would like to try that.
Yeah, Pinoy Garden. Yeah, they're so good.
So my wife and I like to get around, and the best time that we get around is when all the college kids leave, so we can go downtown or go around.
We're just a few weeks away, my friend. The town is ours again. Yeah, so Chris Monsala with Pinoy Garden was on. Actually, that was right. I feel like, that was the same season as you, Pam. That was right around. That was the episode right after.
Okay.
I was like, I knew that felt like the same time. So yeah, if you want to learn more about Pinoy, you can just go watch that one.
That'll be great.
Pam, what are some of your favorites?
Well, I don't want to sound biased because as I work for Hive and I work for Pizza X, One World. I do work for them too. But I got to tell you, the smash burger at Hive is like no other. I crave that. I mean, from time to time, it's so good. And then they have a chicken velvet soup that I really, really love too. My son, who's vegetarian, he goes for all those restaurants around the 4th Street area. Loves all those Indian Thai. Sunny Poke is a big one for him. So, because we don't eat out a whole lot, but we do Grubhub. Isn't that awful? Is that awful?
No, not at all.
But we eat out a lot. We just don't sit down and eat. But I'm a basic, hamburgers, Italian, that kind of stuff. And then my son's all, Thai and Indian and everything else. So we always usually we go out and we'll stop at 2 different places and then bring it all home, so.
Hey, you're supporting 2 local businesses
that's
at once.
True. That's a good
Where
point.
did you take me the first time we went out?
Oh, man, don't put me on the spot like this. I'm trying to remember where we went.
It was
it K-Bop Cafe? Maybe? The Korean place?
No.
No.
It was a smaller place off to the side of downtown.
It's going to kill me.
Grub, and
Osteo.
I'm sorry, I can't.
No, you're fine.
It was wonderful food, and you could decipher how much spice you wanted in it.
Yeah,
it had the smaller tables. Remember, we went along that long case that had all the pop and beverages and all of that stuff.
Yes, we went to Dats.
That's it.
Yeah, we went to Dats. Yes, okay.
Yeah,
because I was like, our first meeting, it feels like so long ago now.
I know.
Because we met so many times since. But yeah, Dats. I love Dats so much. A little chili cheese etouffee with crawfish, the bourbon chicken.
Oh my.
And it's tucked inside the B-Town International Market.
Yeah.
And then they also have B-Town Euros in there too, which is really great. And Pam, I meant to earlier, but there wasn't a good segue. But I wanted to bring up that you work for Pizza X and One World. What's your role with them?
So with One World, I am community relations manager, I guess, and I focus on Hive and Pizza X, and it's basically working with the community if there are big group orders or if there are fundraisers, things like that, kind of organizing that stuff.
Sweet. And if people need to reach you, is it Pam at Bloomington?
Pam at Bloomington.com.
That's why I love One World. Anyone that works at One World, their email is just their name
so nice.
at Bloomington.com.
It makes it so simple.
So that's the thing is I don't even need to know your email, and I already knew your email.
Right. And I will say we do fundraisers for the town. We do fundraisers for schools. So email me and I can tell you all about it.
Perfect. Last thing I want to end on, Pam, you've been in Bloomington for quite some time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about Bloomington?
Oh my gosh. Well, 2 things. I do like the people because there's so many different people here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you can meet somebody on the street and they could be from Alaska or they could be from New York or Kentucky or whatever. There's just a wide variety of people that I really like. It causes sometimes conflict in areas, but it's a kind of a rebel town, I guess. So I do love the people, and more than anything, I guess, is I love the area because I like to hike, and there's just so many Sycamore Land Trust. Go look for all those places. It's just such a very, very pretty area. And excuse me, when I came down from Muncie, I remember thinking there were mountains down here. My parents told me those are not mountains, but they seem like it to me. But I love Bloomington. I really do. I fell in love with the community, and I thought, it's nothing better. It's a small town with a big feel.
Yes.
I just love it. Yeah.
I was in Indy today, and I grew up in Carmel, so the Indy area. And, I like it, but I love Bloomington. So even just driving on 465, and I'm just like, and everything's so spread out. Bloomington, again, it's all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it never takes you more than 15 minutes to get somewhere.
Right.
And there's no traffic.
Yeah.
Anyone that says Bloomington has traffic doesn't know what they're talking
it's
about.
Not like,
it's nothing.
Not like bigger
not
cities.
like when you're in Indianapolis and it's bumper to bumper.
And things like the traditions, like Taste of Bloomington that you're bringing back. That's huge. And I love when they turn the lights on, on
just
Christmas.
The community.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I do.
Well, Ellettsville Summer Concert Series, May 24th through July 26th. Marci Jane Lewis Park in Ellettsville every Saturday, May 24th through July 26th, 6 to 8:30. amazing bands, courtesy of Pam. Amazing idea, courtesy of Tony. Amazing food trucks, courtesy of me.
Yeah.
And just the amazing opportunity, courtesy of the talents of Ellettsville, Smithville, Master Rental, all these amazing partners that help make this thing happen. You guys are doing the Lord's work, let me tell you. Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. We could honestly chat for 4 more hours. I have no doubt about it.
There's one quick thing.
Yeah, please.
We're going to be putting these posters all over the area. And in each one of these sponsored businesses, we will be putting flyers up so that you can actually, as a customer to that business, come in, pick one up. It's got the whole slate of all the different bands and everything else, when it's going to be, and you can pick one of those up, put it on your refrigerator, and you'll never miss a concert.
Wow. Well, don't come get at me when Taste starts stealing all your ideas. I'm like, we should do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think radio is? Stealing the best ideas.
Oh, yeah. Well, you mentioned earlier about creatives. I feel like people in radio have this odd, necessary mix of business acumen and creativity together. And that's what makes it all work.
Yeah.
You guys are the best. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting us. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I'll come on your show soon. We'll make it happen.
Yes, definitely. Yes, bring food.
All right. Yeah, everywhere I go, where's my ice cream?
Yeah, exactly.
Not
that I don't just want to see you, but yeah.
I know. I'm used to it. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Cheers.
What another fun episode, huh, gang? Thanks to Visit Bloomington, as always, for being our presenting sponsors. Thanks to Everywhere Science for this cool sign. Nate and team hooked it up. And thanks to you for watching so we can keep doing this. See you next Tuesday morning with another new episode of the No Dishes Podcast. This episode of the No Dishes Podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.